Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of James Bond Bitcoin Live 00129 hashtag headquarters. All right, in this episode, I'll be talking about what's in the note section here. In the note section, if you want to read it, is Bond Trading View, list of top 55 coins and tokens compared to Bitcoin percentage, and all-time high. Flagged for shorts. So, as you know, I always do a on-chain FX customized view of my proprietary formulated web trading bot machine. I don't have a web trading bot machine, but I'll say it. And it's set up to give you the best exit point or dumping time for your altcoins to get the most Bitcoin. All right, and then also these are some of the stories I'll be talking about in the notes section here. 00 Bitcoin, British spy agency to review potential Bitcoin risk. And so I'll be going over that story. Apparently the UK government sees fit to have a spy agency review Bitcoin, and I'm just going to save them a lot of time and money. Their final conclusion is to the moon. That's probably going to be their final conclusion. Also in the note section here is RaiBlocks is what Bitcoin should have been from the start. Well, I always wonder what the heck are RaiBlocks, because I see them in the trending in Salome.io. I've also noticed that they've moved up in the coin market cap. So I saw this Medium post and I decided to just get an idea what RaiBlocks are, and I'll be going over that with you, so maybe you get an idea what it is. Of course, I'll save you some time. It's just essentially it's a new coin that everyone's excited about, which is being pumped, and of course eventually will get dumped, as you know. Okay, next is Bitcoin Platinum, created by South Korean teenager as a scam. Local market erupts. Oh boy, Bitcoin Platinum, a scam by a teenager? Come on. What are the odds? Probably very high. I guess I'll do another review of Bitcoin Platinum and let's see where Bitcoin Platinum stands now. Next in the note section is Bitfinex withdrawal difficulties may have contributed to Litecoin spike. I don't know if you noticed, but Litecoin is having a very nice spike in fiat currency. We may actually do a review on it to see how it's doing compared to Bitcoin, and you probably may be disappointed. All right, what's next in the note section here? Oh, next story is Bitcoin wallet guide. Which Bitcoin wallet is best? Desktop choices. I'll go over that story. Although most of them aren't really even desktop choices, they're all more like web browser choices, but I'll give you my thoughts on it, and I'll even let you know what I think is the best desktop wallet. Probably there isn't a good desktop wallet in my opinion, but anyways, also in the notes section is some news aggregators. Coinspectator, real-time cryptocurrency news aggregator. CryptoPanic is a news aggregator platform indicating impact on price and market for traders and cryptocurrency enthusiasts. Next in the notes section I got partitioned off is all the fake forks, scam forks, joke forks, meme forks, real forks, and potential forks, and already forked coins of Bitcoin. I had to remove some of them because I did an update on the forks yesterday. Go check out that that video if you can, if you haven't already seen it. Bitcoin Platinum. I guess we'll be going over that today. Bitcoin Uranium, Bitcoin Cash Plus, Bitcoin Classic, Super Bitcoin, Bitcoin Diamond, BID, and then Bitcoin Diamond BCD. And then I have the new one that I also did a review on yesterday, or quick review, Bitcoin X, BCX. Achieve X possibilities. Okay. And then list of airdrops last update. Well, technically yesterday, but I didn't change the notes. But cryptocree.com/airdrop for those of you who love receiving free money falling from the sky. Okay. Also in the next in the note section that's been partitioned, some useful web links here. Segwit charts, Coin Codex, listing platform, Live Coin Watch, another listing platform. Really liking that one. They got a 30-day with a 90-day graph, so you can get a better idea of how well you're performing on your coins. At least in fiat currency. Of course, if they compared it to Bitcoin, you probably would start like dumping all your altcoins and just buying Bitcoin if they actually had a Bitcoin option and all the percentages reflected Bitcoin pricing. CoinGecko, I went over that also yesterday. Great platform if you want to understand how much development is involved as well as community participation. BitInfo Charts, another wonderful platform for listing as far as price-wise, and BitInfo Charts is more for fundamental mining, hash rate, block times, etc. Really good platform. Joho Mempool Statistics for graphical interface, a visual interface for the mempool for Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. But I mostly just do Bitcoin because that's what everybody's using. And then Salome.io, wonderful listing platform and measures social volume. I'll go over that today. It also has an ICO index, so we'll take a look at that. Transaction accelerator. If your transactions are stuck for whatever reason, you could try to bump it up. Also, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash hash rate historical chart 6 months, so you can compare between the two blockchains that compete for the same mining algorithm. All right, next in the note section that's been partitioned off is, can Bitcoin be replaced via multiple hard forks? James Bond interview on Crush the Street, published November 9th. Interviewed November 7th. I say some interesting things. Check it out. Also, collect your free Bitcoin Gold coins with Coinami. If you haven't already figured that out, how to split your Bitcoin Gold, I did make a video called How to Split Bitcoin Gold BTG01 using the Coinami wallet. And for whatever reason, you can't download the Coinami wallet. Coinami has a website, has a link there for the mnemonic code converter. So you can input your mnemonic seed. You can do it also offline, and then just select the coin, which is Bitcoin Gold, and voila, you'll have your Bitcoin Gold private keys. You'll still need a wallet, but I'm sure there's some wallets out there. There may be some exchanges out there. I'm sure you're looking for a place to trade your Bitcoin Gold to get more Bitcoin, of course. And then also I have a link to Bitcoin Gold as well. All right, and also in the note section that's been partitioned off beneath that, if you are watching this video or any cryptocurrency video and you have seen an ad for BitConnect, especially a person who's pumping BitConnect by the name of Craig Grant or his mistress, Juliana, you might want to read these articles before you go out and put your life savings into BitConnect. Why has ICO Index labeled BitConnect as an outright fraud? Notice regarding high yield coins on top of BitConnect. What is BitConnect and why have we decided to distance ourselves from it? And if you want to watch a video, I have a video for you. James Bond Bitcoin Live 0017. I interview 3 BitConnect users. All of them basically describe a Ponzi, but won't admit that it's a Ponzi. 2 of them rage quit. One of them was stupid enough to stick around to let you know where you could find them. And the 4th guest, Crypto Blood, well, he wasn't involved in BitConnect in any way, shape, or form. And it was pretty obvious to him, but wasn't obvious to the BitConnect users, that they're in a Ponzi. And special guest appearance, Ozzy the BS Filter, who still cannot understand that BitConnect is a scam. He still can't figure that out. And then also in the last part of the notes section, I have Visit with Santa cold open Saturday Night Live. You won't believe it, but Bitcoin was mentioned in the opening of Saturday Night Live. Go check it out. You can see the whole skit. It's only about 4 minutes. But the fact that Bitcoin was mentioned on Saturday Night Live, it's kind of amazing. I mean, it's I don't know if it's a joke. Well, obviously it is. It's a joke. But the fact that it's being pushed out on mainstream, on normal people, on Saturday Night Live as humor is a great introduction into it. If people don't understand it, they'll start asking about it. It may be already known what Bitcoin is, and people are just making fun about it. But the fact that the price is like $15,000 or over $15,000, I mean, I don't think people are going to take it as a joke anymore. It might be satire, but it is bringing it to the light, to the mainstream normies. All right. Also, I have the video theme for this video, which is Skyfall, MI6 explosion. There you go. This thing's going to start blowing up all over the place. I think after the GCHQ, through their research on Bitcoin, things are going to start blowing up all over the place, if not already. I also have the link to this meme right here. Hashtag yes to X99. I'm all the way up to 99, which is what you're seeing right now. And then also in the notes section here, last but finally, Pot of Gold. I have a link to the Pot of Gold, and there's the Pot of Gold donational address. I haven't checked it. I don't know if anybody's donated to it. If you have, I'll check it later, but donate to it again. I'll give away the 8th clue to the 8th word of the 24-word mnemonic seed, or you could just try to scan the encrypted private key and try to sweep all the Bitcoins in there. I think there's over $100 worth. So anyways, let's go check out who's all in the live chat here. Dual overhead camness. Man, you're always here first, or if not first, always before the show. I'm very proud of you. Uber guy, how you doing? Do you drive Uber cars by any chance? Are you an Uber driver? You're asking, should I buy Bitcoin now? I'm thinking about temporarily trading all my alts. You should definitely dump all your alts and go all in with Bitcoin, because so far hasn't done me wrong yet. I've done very well. Of course, if you did that at the beginning of the year, it would have been much better, and you probably would have made a lot more money. A lot more. And Patrick, how you doing? Good to see you. Buy Bitcoin. Welcome to the chat. Warren Bottoms, yo, yo, yo. This is the first time I think I've seen you here. And Brian, howdy, Brian. Brian's the one that sent me the link for the SNL skit. So thank you, Brian. Really enjoyed it. Surprising, Saturday Night Live. And by the way, it's trending at #1 on YouTube. So it's really getting a lot of people, right? Bitcoin's really, I mean, you got to plant the seed somehow. And even though it's a satire, it's a joke a little bit, but just the fact that it's being introduced that way, I'm sure eventually when they hear it somewhere else, at least they've heard about it. Matter of fact, interesting thing is my wife brought home a Barron's newsletter, and the cover of that Barron's newsletter, it was dated December 4th, I believe, was Bitcoin goes to Wall Street or something like that. It was a big cover, right on the cover. It had the Wall Street building and then a big Bitcoin coin that looked like, electronic circuit board. It's kind of silly. And then let's see who else is Patrick, of course, you're in here. And Fud Machine. How you doing? Jacob TS. Let me see. 10:34 p.m. GXTB CBOE futures ticker is at what? $15,254. Excellent. Bitcoin to USD on Coinbase is at $16,635. Wow. Nice. And Richie Rich, welcome. Welcome to the chat. Rare Pepe wallet was hacked today. Really? Well, thank goodness I don't have any Rare Pepe wallets or Rare Pepe at all. Excellent. And Pisces trait rule 373. Welcome to the chat. You're not too late. We're just starting. And Q-Bro, good to see you as well. All right. Oh, and Andre Barnwell, welcome. You're always here. Thank you. So, all right, let's continue on with with the meme here. Oh goodness, this is James Bond at the MI6 headquarters, and of course, after, of course, MI6 is not, researching Bitcoin. It's actually the GCHQ that has been given the duty of researching Bitcoin. And I think after they do their research, this is pretty much their conclusion is going to be to the moon. That's their report to the Queen or to the Prime Minister or whoever they report to. After doing their research, they're just going to report to the moon. I mean, that's all you have to do. That's all you have to say. Anyways, let's go on with the rest of the show here. To the moon, everyone, to the moon. Even James Bond, well, that James Bond and this James Bond here knows to the moon, Bitcoin to the moon. Right, let's go on here. All right, so let's go to the Bitcoin pot of gold. One of you lucky bastards is eventually going to win this pot of gold. I have a feeling most likely it's going to be Brian. He's really getting all the treasure hunts. He found another treasure hunt, which is I think should be about $10, maybe $15 worth now. So he's getting a lot of free Bitcoins here. Hopefully it didn't cost him a lot in fees. But he found one of the treasure hunts finally. If you go to some of my previous videos, especially some of the early videos where I started doing the memes, I haven't done them recently because there's a lot of hard forks coming, so I don't want to move any coins, and the transaction fees are kind of high, and low transaction fees won't get confirmed or won't even broadcast sometimes. So I haven't been doing them, but they're out there, and there's still quite a bit that haven't been found. So you should try to look for those treasure hunts. But this is the Bitcoin pot of gold. So the QR code on the left here is the Bitcoin pot of gold, pointing to the Bitcoin pot of gold. Please donate. Take your wallets, your Bitcoin wallets. It's a SegWit address. Scan it and push send all and high priority, and thank you very much. If anybody donates, I'll give the 8th clue to the 8th word of the 24-word mnemonic seed. That's one way to win it. You can try to crack the 24-word mnemonic word seed. The other option is right over here. This thing, if you look at this target, is basically an encrypted private key. And now you probably need a SegWit wallet to sweep it. That would help. But if you don't, just decode the encrypted private key and you'll get a private key. And if you could take the private key and then use a SegWit sender, a SegWit wallet sender of some sorts, and sweep it, the Bitcoins that way. And then right here is another QR code, but it's just a regular QR code. If you take a barcode scanner or a QR code scanner, it'll take you to Yellow Fever for You, his YouTube channel. He's the one that gave me this idea, so thank you, Yellow Fever for You. There we go. So everyone donates, everybody put their money into it, and one lucky person walks away a winner. Good luck to you. All right, so let's see what's here. Oh yes, the bond trading view. This is my customized OCFX bond trading view. My my proprietary formulated index here that's custom view just for you guys. Let me see. Bond trading view. This is created by James Bond Bitcoin Live. A list of top 55 coins compared to Bitcoin percentage and all-time high flagged for shorts. So here's the flagged. It's getting smaller because the opportunity to get the most amount of Bitcoins from some of these altcoins, well, after a certain period, you lose that opportunity. So I make this every day. I have a new list every day. This is the list for today. This is in US dollars. So let me change this to Bitcoin. And it's a little bit different story. So let me change it back to US dollars to make it nice and tidy. But if you look at the 24-hour change in Bitcoin percentage, you'll notice something. You'll notice that they're all in the negatives. Some of them in the double digits. Today they were all green. Now they're all in the red, or not all. Most of them are in the red. Some are barely in the green. So what happened? Well, yesterday the price of Bitcoin went down. Today the price of Bitcoin went up. So what happens when the price of Bitcoin goes down? Well, usually the price of altcoins go down, but if compared to Bitcoin, they've made a gain in Bitcoin, ironically. So the weird part is if you're an altcoin trader and you hold on to altcoins, you have to wait for the Bitcoin price to crash. But when the Bitcoin price crashes, so does your altcoin. Your altcoin price crashes. Why? Because your altcoin is nothing more than a fractional representation of a Bitcoin. And so that's the only time you'll make a Bitcoin gain is when the Bitcoin market crashes. But at the same time, your altcoin in US dollar will also go down, but your Bitcoin value, compared to your altcoin to your Bitcoin value, will go up. But it kind of sucks because yes, you made a gain in Bitcoin, but you lost in both Bitcoin fiat value and your altcoin fiat value. So what's the value proposition in owning an altcoin? There is none. It's a losing proposition. Now that the Bitcoin price has gone up, what has happened? Most likely in fiat, in money, your altcoin has gone up, but you lost in Bitcoin percentage. So you're making less Bitcoin, which kind of defeats the purpose of having an altcoin sometimes. Because I always hear people who trade altcoins always tell me the reason why they trade altcoins is to make more Bitcoin. But there's a contradiction here, right? In order for you to make more Bitcoin, you have to take a US dollar loss on your altcoin as well as your Bitcoin. It's a very bad value proposition here. That's why I don't recommend trading altcoins. You should probably just go to Bitcoins. You'll make more money. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you get out of your altcoin and get as much Bitcoin as you can while you're doing it. So stay tuned for this. I'll get back to this. It's a short list, so I'll go over each coin right here, and we'll analyze it as far as Bitcoin value. All right, so let's go on to the first article here is basically Double O Bitcoin, British spy agency to review potential Bitcoin risk. My. The UK government is looking into Bitcoin. Now, there's been a recent trend lately that in UK and in other parts of the world, governments all over the world are starting to really look at Bitcoin and almost try to, well, pretty much regulate Bitcoin use. And so it seems like they're trying to regulate it as far as the exchanges, the merchant processors, the days of anonymous exchanges and anonymous merchant processing. Even ATMs, they're starting to look at ATMs to also identify the users of ATMs. So the days of anonymous transactions with ATMs, exchanges, and maybe even point of sale, that may be scary. But as far as peer-to-peer, like person-to-person, I think that is still available. It is going to get harder because I think something like this will scare the average peer-to-peer user. But let's take a look at what's going on. So let's scroll down a little bit and let me just read a little bit of it. Okay, so right here, the UK is calling upon its spy agency, the GCHQ, to review the potential risk that Bitcoin can bring and share that information with other government departments. That is amazing. Well, let me help them out a little bit. I could tell you what your conclusion would be. It would be Bitcoin to the moon. That's really all they have to say. maybe some government workers will start buying Bitcoin now. Oh goodness, it's an interesting article, very somewhat informative. The original source comes from a paid newsletter or a paid news site. So, but apparently, the GCHQ stands for Government Communication Headquarters. And there's some quote here. Let me read the quote. It says, "We are interested in anything that could affect the country. So Bitcoin is a major thing now." All right. This is a quote. Bitcoin is a major thing now. All right. You notice they didn't say Dash is a major thing. They didn't say Ethereum is a major thing. All right. They didn't say IOTA is a major thing or Litecoin is a major thing. They said Bitcoin is a major thing. So you got basically government agencies studying Bitcoin intensively and trying to share that information with other government agencies. So this is, I think there's always been an interest in it, but I think now people are really taking more time and looking into it. I mean, in a serious way. Let's see what else. Well, if you ever want to know what GCHQ looks like, that's what it is. The donut is what it's affectionately called. So here they even talk about ATMs. It seems like the UK is quote unquote cracking down through regulations, even on exchanges, ATMs. So is there a crackdown? I think as the value of Bitcoin goes up and it becomes more and more valuable, it has to be taken more and more seriously because potentially there are people out there who has millions and millions of dollars in their pocket. So for early Bitcoiners or people who know about Bitcoin, that was always a concept that you could have millions and millions of dollars in your pocket without using a bank. You become the bank. So this is nothing new for me anyway. And the fact that you can essentially have millions and millions of dollars in a cryptographically safe private key. Even then, you could take the private key and encrypt that, or even just remember 24 words. And you'll have your money available to you as long as you have an internet connection and or a wallet of some sorts. Even better than that, if you think about Open Dime, or what I was talking about, burning a Bitcoin onto a physical object, you know, there's like so many different ways. It's so hard to contain, you know, cryptocurrencies these days. It's hard. Once the cat is out of the bag, that is it. It is out. The genie's out of the bottle. It's going to be very hard to put it back in. And is it dangerous? I think it could be dangerous as far as the perception of control. But is it physically dangerous? I don't think so. I don't think so. If controlling the populace, if controlling the people is what empowers you, then it's dangerous. Yes, because this will free you to a certain degree, and it will, you know, I would say the people who are in power now, the incumbent system, this is a threat. I do believe that, and so I do think there will be more scrutiny. Not that there was less scrutiny before, but I do believe there will be more scrutiny. There was more scrutiny anyway, but now there is actually more scrutiny in the way of people are really, or at least government forces, are taking more active monitoring, active surveillance now. So you might want to get an Open Dime, and you either are going to put it up your butt, or you're going to swallow it when you go to overseas. I think it'd be just easier if you just remember a 24-word recovery seed. I think that'd be a lot easier. But anyways, let's go on to the next story here. Okay, RaiBlocks is what Bitcoin should have been from the start. Okay, I don't even know what RaiBlocks is. I see it in Salome.io quite a bit. Matter of fact, let's go to Salome.io. And I think it's mentioned here again in the trending coin section. Let me see here. Is it? Yeah, here it is. Let me read what this tweet was saying. For the first time, we will hit the top 100 list in cryptocurrencies. Thanks to everyone helping move XRB, that's the ticker symbol, XRB forward. All right, that's their tweet, and that's what's trending. Interesting. All right, so let's go and look at Salome real quick, or not Salome, RaiBlocks. Here's RaiBlocks. It's been moving up. It has a 71%, increase, and it's been constantly on the rise. It has a larger social volume than Dash and Vertcoin, so very interesting. A price increase of 34%. It's $1. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm talking about here. This is, so for some reason or another, been getting a lot of attention. I've seen it before on social, on Salome. Now I want to take a look at it. What is it? And from what I can tell, it seems to be, I wouldn't say a new blockchain, but it seems to be a chain that claims to be free transactions. Okay, so it's a free transactions, and the way it works is your wallet makes its own blockchain, apparently, if I'm not confused by this Medium post already. But it's based off of what they call a direct, here it is, right here, direct Silic graph-based cryptocurrencies. Beta version was functional before IOTA. So it seems like IOTA is one of these type of what they call DAG. They call it a DAG. And Byteball seems to be similar in that way. And if you notice that IOTA has also taken off recently, but I think it's a different reason. But I also think this RaiBlocks is taking off for a completely different reason as well, because the fees are very high right now. The mempool is very full. All right, no one's using Bitcoin Cash. Apparently, this is a cryptocurrency that is very fast. All right, very fast and also free of transaction fees. I don't know how long that's going to last. Apparently, you make your own blockchain on every single transactions, which I'm not fully understanding. But if IOTA was already available, if Byteball was available, then these coins should have already like exploded, which they're kind of doing right now. Really believe that that can be sustained because there's power, there's energy, there's time being consumed, and how can that transaction be free? I just don't understand that. And so this is a little talk about it and what it is. And it talks about apparently there's no mining or master nodes. So this is nothing more than seems like a model of a node, or what I would call lightning nodes model, I guess. So it's kind of interesting, but at the same time, if you look at what's happening with IOTA, if this is the same technology that IOTA is using, IOTA is at a freeze right now, from what I understand. Some people are complaining that their transactions are not going through because there's a huge influx of IOTA users, which I believe comes from mostly Bitfinex, and they're only using it to move their money around for free. All right, and if RaiBlocks is going to be used in that same way, it's only a matter of time before they pretty much get a freeze. But this is why I think they are pumping, and I think as soon as Bitcoin, their fees come down, and also Lightning Network does get implemented, maybe even with side chains and drive chains and federated chains and whatever chains, as soon as all that technology becomes available, I believe altcoins like this, RaiBlocks, IOTA, Byteball, well, they'll become useless. Well, I wouldn't say they'll become useless. They just won't be hyped, and the value of what they are right now will not be as valuable anymore. That's just my opinion. How you doing, imaginary globe? All right, you want me to look at this cover of 1988, The Economist, Get Ready for a World Currency by 2018. Take a close look at the coin. What do you think they were trying to tell us 30 years ago? Okay, let's take a look at that. Let me see here. We'll do a Google search of the Economist. Let me see what you called. Get ready for world currency. Okay, check that out. All right. Well, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. Images. 2008. Let me see. What does it say? I can't really zoom in here. Oh, that's a YouTube thing. Let's get rid of that. Okay, let me see here. Let me go back to, let me find an article then. Let me see, The Economist. The Economist, this is a Steemit article. Well, let me see this one right here. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And what's it say? It says tens. I don't know what it says there. It says 10. There's an ego. There's, looks like the yen and the dollar is burning. This is very interesting. Hey, how you doing, 21 Million Club? And so, wow, this is incredible. So do you think this is going to start taking off right now? Do you think, let me see, when was this done? What year was it? Let me see. Let's go. This is going to go to zero hedge, but we'll check it out. Hey, DD 8209. All right, let's see what it says here. The Economist, get ready for a world cryptocurrency by 2018. Let me see if I click on this, if it'll give me a bigger picture. What is this? This is exactly the reason why I don't go to zero hedge, but all right. All right, let me take a look at it real quick. If it's gonna ever let me take a look at it. Yeah, this is exactly why I hate going to zero hedge. It takes so long to download. All right. Oh, goodness. And let me, is this still downloading? Let me just stop it. There we go. Stop. Let's see what it says here. It says January 9th, 1988. Now, I'm reading up here. It says 10 Phoenix 2018. Okay. Let's just read the first paragraph. I'm not aware of this. I haven't read this. So it says 30 years from now, Americans, Japanese, European, and people in many other rich countries, and some relatively poor ones, will probably be paying for their shopping with the same currency. Prices will be quoted not in dollars, yen, or D-marks, but in, let's say, the Phoenix. The Phoenix will be favored by companies. It will be more convenient than today's national currencies, which by then will seem a quaint cause of much disruption to economic life in the last 20th century. Well, that's interesting. That almost seems like it's coming true. Okay, let's go on to the next part here. I'm just going to read the highlighted black parts. I'm not going to go through all of this. It seems like it's very long. The new world economy. The biggest change in the world economy since the early 1970s is the flow of trade in goods as the force that drives exchange rates. Okay, let's see what else it says. In all these ways, national economic boundaries are slowly dissolving. That seems to be very true. The Phoenix Zone will impose tight constraints on national governments. Uh, there would be no such thing, for instance, as a national monetary policy. Oh, interesting. As the next century approaches, the natural forces that are pushing the world toward economic integration will offer governments a broad choice. They can go with the flow or they can build barricades. All right. Let's have another quote here is the alternative to policy making autonomy would involve a new proliferation of truly draconian controls on trade and capital flows. You know, some of that's already happening. I mean, with all the currency. Let me see. Is there anything else? And this is exactly why I don't like going to zero hedge. This thing is just nothing but ads. Okay, well, so much for that. All right. So I guess in some ways they were right, but you know, I haven't read the whole thing. It doesn't seem to mention anything about Bitcoin, and it's 2018. Is there a one currency? Could there be a one currency by 2018? Will it be Bitcoin? Well, maybe. Maybe that might be the start. I don't know. But when this was written 30 years ago, it had 30 years of uh, of prophecy, I guess, to fulfill. And if it does do anything, if there is one world currency, that'd be amazing. It'll be easier. It'll be a global currency. A lot of people would like that. But I think is Bitcoin the global currency? I think it'd be a matter of choice for the people to decide that. And if the people decide that, then so be it. If if free will trumps economic policy by your government, then that's what it will be. Will it be Bitcoin? I don't know. I don't know. Is there by next year will Bitcoin replace fiat currency? I don't think so. When I walk out, like today, when I went out in the streets of where I live, I don't see people transitioning over to a cryptocurrency. I just don't see that. I don't see everybody transitioning over to cryptocurrency. I do, however, think there will be groups of people or people who see value in being a part of the cryptocurrency movement, and maybe they will have well, their lives will be way different than the rest of the people, the normal people, the normies. You know, uh, my life is already dramatically, in my opinion, my life is already dramatically different than most people's. Um, you know, I've completely stopped going to work. I'm doing things that I think if I didn't use Bitcoin, I wouldn't be able to do this at all. And so, in that sense, it's very different. It's given me a lot of time to think and educate myself, and to look within and look outside and try to have a better understanding of what's going on. Um, when I go out, I don't see that. I don't see that with everybody. I still see the same thing. People are worried about their jobs. People are worried about raising their families. People are worried about things that are very immediate and not a very long term thinking. And it's hard to, because when you have a family to take care of, it's a different story when you have, unfortunately, debt in typically student loans and mortgages. It's hard to break away compared to maybe someone who is, they don't have to you don't have to be young, but you could be single, have no responsibilities, and not really be tied to anything by debt like a house or a student loan. It's a totally different story. It also reminds me of how um, when when I did when I did work, and I worked in, I wouldn't say the inner cities, but when I worked in the city, there are a lot of people who are, um, they were into the whole. They really believe the global warming thing, and I wasn't too involved in it, but my business was recycling. So I was in the recycling business. So all of a sudden, my interest about global warming had to be, I had to understand it in order to get to some of these people that were decision makers for me to have a recycling program with them. So I had to understand their mindset. And after doing some research, which I did, being in Houston, there's a lot of anti climate change people. They believe more in climate change than they do in global warming, but they don't believe that fossil fuels are the cause of global warming. And I went to a seminar at the University of Houston, and I heard debates on both sides. And after doing some of my own research, I kind of came up to the conclusion that um, you know that this could not this whole concept of global, quote unquote, global warming may just be a natural effect of the sun, and may not have really anything to do with what people are doing. Matter of fact, when I sat down with, these were mostly chemical engineers, and they had a leaning view of global warming. I would sit down with them, and they said trees are a great way of sequestering carbon. And when you look at it, it's just chemicals, and chemicals or atoms. If you understand what atoms are, they can't be created or destroyed. They are basically all the atoms that were here on this earth is still here. It's just in a different form. And so, well, I'm sitting down having dinner with these people, and I ask, they're talking. We're just talking, and they say, well, a tree is a great a great way to sequester carbon. And they suck up all the carbon, and basically the carbon is basically what they're made of, right? And so I asked this chemist. He was a chemist. He worked for an oil company. Um, that okay, so if all these carbon dioxides, right, or carbon in the air, if they were in the air, if that's where they originally were, and the trees sucked them up and put them, sequestered them, quote unquote, so sequestered them, or the carbon atoms became the tree. Well, then of course the organic material dies, and then becomes oil eventually after hundreds of millions of years. So, or whatever, they become organic. They're carbon life forms of a tree, a living form, and they die at the bottom of the sea, or they die they die up on a mountain, become coal or oil or whatever, natural gas. So once they're extracted again and basically released back out into the air, isn't that where they originally belong? Isn't that a natural process? And so I asked him that question, and he didn't really want to answer for some reason. Anyways, I don't know how I got off onto that rant. What do I think about this? I I don't think I think it's a great article. Uh, I think given it 30 years, it's a long time. Uh, 2018, I don't think so. I don't think so. When I walk out in the streets, and I look around and I see all these people around me, and my mindset's very different. I feel very different. I don't feel like I'm part of the world anymore. Um, it seems like the world is not ready for one world global currency, and neither are the governments. They're not ready to give up control, especially to the masses. I think they're very scared of that. So I don't believe by 2018 we're going to have a one world currency. I think for those people who believe in a global currency, that could be possible for those people who volunteer to choose to have that. But I don't think the world will come to that kind of same conclusion. I'm okay with it. I mean, if I can go to Germany and use my Bitcoin, I'll do that. If I go to Canada, if I go to Mexico, if I go to China, if I go to Korea, if I go to Africa, if I can bring my Bitcoins with me and use it, then yes. But I was doing that already. I was doing that before 2018, and I'm assuming most of you in the chat have probably done that. So this whole idea of 2018 being a number, I mean, it's an interesting article. And as far as the eagle, I'm not sure what the eagle represents, and this whatever this is, 10 Phoenix. I'm not sure what the 10 has to be related, and that symbol. I'm not even sure what that symbol is. But anyways, thanks for sharing that. I'll look more into it and see what I can come up with. So anyways, thank you for that question. It really took me off on the side here for a little bit. But let me go back to RaiBlocks here real quick. So anyways, RaiBlocks, I think is, I think it's a pump. It's a pump, and just like everything, whatever new comes out that seems to be free and cheaper than Bitcoin, it seems to have a great interest because its usefulness as an alternative to Bitcoin to transfer money somewhere else, which they'll probably end up going back into Bitcoin because no one's going to buy this RaiBlocks. They're never going to convert it out to a useful means of trade or currency. So DD8209, you're saying Bitcoin will suffer wild swings and people will want a more stable currency and the government will offer it. Yeah, well, I think that's, a lot of people talk about like, whatever their anarchy or anarcho-capitalism and all that. And as more and more I get into Bitcoin, I'm beginning to understand that, we kind of do live in that way right now. Each and every one of you, at least in America, you are the master of your domain. Like once you go home or go to your residence, no one's going to stop you from doing anything. It's only when you interact in public space there's some limitations. But other than that, once you go home, you could do whatever you want. You could strap on as many guns as you want. You could walk around naked. You can have sex with anybody. You can do any drug you want in your own home, the privacy of your own home. You can write as many weird novels as you want. There's no limit to what you can do in the privacy of your residence, and to the point where you could do whatever you want. It's only when you enter into like a public domain that consideration for others come into play. But if you want to start cooking up whatever chemicals or read forbidden books or do forbidden practices, you can do that. You can do that. All right. There's nothing stopping you. So all these people who cry about like these things about their freedoms and all that, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I do know what it's like to be targeted. I think I've been targeted, and it's not a nice. It's a weird feeling. It's a paranoid feeling, and it does take its toll to the point where you cannot trust anyone, anywhere, anytime. To some degree, I guess I guess the closest people you can trust because you know that they're real. They're like from your childhood. They're your family members. But like new people you meet, you don't know who they are. You don't know what agenda they have. So it's a weird. It's kind of weird. So sorry about that rant. It's problem reaction solution based governance. Free will is an illusion. Well, even if it is an illusion, DD8209, you have to you do have free will, right? I mean, if you wanted to end your life, there's nothing stopping you, and that's completely free. There's always an exit. You can, choose death. Death is the ultimate release. No one's stopping you from that. I think it's just your own fear for the most part. And there are a lot of people who do commit suicide, and they don't want to be part of this world, and they wish to not participate anymore, or just don't want to face the circumstances of being alive. That's definitely free will. A lot of people die every day. So I don't think I can't really say it's an illusion. I think control is an illusion. The idea that you have control over your life, and you have control to the point where you can control other people's life, and other people's interactions. I think that's an illusion, because most people think of free will as whatever you want to do with others, right? That's how people conceive free will. Let me see what else you say. DD8209, you say the phoenix represents the rebirth of a new currency. Okay, the phoenix. Let me see. Did I already close that? Okay, I did. The bird, the phoenix. Okay, and that symbol on its head, I know it means something. So the birth of a new world order, is that the whole idea of it? The birth of a new world currency, a new idea. Sure, why not? Why not? There's a revolution. Revolutions aren't always started violently. They're started within each person, in your head, in your mind, on your perception of, I guess, how you want to alter reality. So yeah, why not? Okay. Well, that was a nice little tangent I went off. Hello, Julie. How you doing? Welcome to the chat. We're getting to some good juicy stuff. All right. So let's go back to RaiBlocks. Anyways, I think a lot of this is hype. So, anyways, so I found something about RaiBlocks. I think it's right now it's more hype, because apparently this is the same technology that's used in IOTA, and also Digibyte, or not Digibyte. What's it called? Gosh, what is this thing called? Um, IOTA and Byteball. Yeah, that's right, Byteball. And those two really haven't taken off. Matter of fact, let's see. Let's have a look at CryptoCoin. Coin market cap. There we go. Let's see. DD8209. You're saying they create the problem and wait for us to react to it. By then, they have a pre-made solution to offer us. Well, yeah, that could be a way of control. Again, I do think it's just a way of controlling people, and it's better than putting a gun up to your head, making you think that you made that decision to making that decision, making you into believing that you made the decision to come to that conclusion. That's very good. That's very good. I mean, it's better than trying to put a gun up to your head and make you do things, right? To force you to do things by either penalizing you, or usually the best way to get the general population to do things is to usually incentivize, and incentivize either by money, or let me see, usually it's by money. Another one is social acceptance. It's another one that may be a good incentive. You know, Usually it's money and social acceptance would be the two ways, in my opinion. But the others have been, to penalize. In other words, to put you in jail, to put you, under arrest, to make it socially unacceptable. Nothing as far as the law, or even taxing you, penalizing, money. So taking your money away for doing the activity. So that's another thing. So a lot of people don't like that, even though that would actually get you to stop doing these things, or getting most of you to stop doing these things. But really, you want people to be incentivized, and not the other way where you're de-incentivized. It works a lot better. So the illusion of free will, in your case that you were talking about, I agree that is illusion of free will. But if you can see past that illusion of control, then I think you'll ultimately have some form of free will, at least over yourself. Having free, I think a lot of people have misconceptions of free will of others, having control and free will of others, versus having control and free will of yourself. I mean, you're in complete control. No one's gonna, as far as I know, no one's gonna really care whether you wake up in the morning at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock. That's totally up to you. So, okay. Well, you're welcome, DD80, DD8209. Let me see. What do we have? We have Cubro. Cubro saying you don't need a gun, just good marketing. Yeah. Free will is an illusion. Okay. And then Dual Overhead Kindness says politicians are at everyone's faults. Yeah. Let me see. DD8209. You say forced to call Kate Jennings a woman. Well, if we're talking about gender and stuff like that, uh, I don't really get involved in that, or I don't really look into it that too much. I do, there's obviously biological gender. I mean, that's in some rare cases you may be half man, half male. I mean, I guess there's some medical cases where that may be true. I'm not a doctor or anything, but as far as I know, the biological gender is pretty obvious. Either you're a man or you're a woman. If you want to convert it over, I guess you can, and you can be. I guess if you want to transition later on and claim to be the opposite sex, I guess there's nothing wrong with that as long as I guess if you have a partner, uh, maybe whatever boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever sexual partner or spouse, whatever you want to call it, that that information is disclosed at least. It's kind of embarrassing that you all this time you hook up with someone and you never lie. Never, like for a guy, you hook up with someone who you think is a woman, and then later on, like you realize that it was this person was originally a man. You know, I think that should be disclosed. But the world is what it is. I'm not one to judge someone's pursuit in life. It's you know it's quite I guess you could say confusing for a lot of people because your sex and your gender, does it matter really? It only matters when I guess you plan on having children. So that's the only time it really matters for procreation. Other than that, if you need to do work, whether it's done from a man or from a woman, like someone who puts gas in my car, does it matter if it's a man, woman? It doesn't. There's some things that it doesn't really matter, and so gender only matters when you plan on, you know, procreating, and I think that's very very important. You know, procreating is that's when it really counts. When that's when the gender issue really matters. Now, if it's not about procreating, then I guess it really doesn't matter whether a woman or a man that wants to be a woman or a woman that wants to be a man, as long as you can get the work done, right? I mean, that's so that's for me. That's the only thing I care about. It's like you know, if you plan on having children or plan on producing children or making children or procreating, then gender is a huge huge factor. Other than that, I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter. You know, if the clerk at my Walmart is a man that dresses and looks like a woman, I really don't care. Just I'm let me get my stuff and I'll pay for it and I'll leave. As long as that person can facilitate that, what's the matter? Anyway, I'm glad you're all having fun over there in the chat room. Don't oh goodness, don't worry. You know, I'll take questions. It doesn't matter. It's all part of interacting with the live chat. So anyway, so let's take a look at the RaiBlocks chart and let's see if you made any Bitcoins. And it's slowly trending up, slowly trending up, but I don't think that it looks like you haven't made any more than at this point in time right here, which looks like, I don't know what it is, but just slightly over 6,000 Bitcoins. So are you making more Bitcoins? Well, this chart, not, I guess in the last 3 days you made more Bitcoins, but have you made more Bitcoins that's trending upwards? It's slightly trending upwards, but the fact that it's never made more Bitcoins than right here, I don't know. I think it's a pump and dump. It just pumps and then it dumps and then it'll just pump a little bit more and dumps, and then right now it's going, it's pumping right now, and it's only what, March? So March of 2017, only since March. Wow, this is nothing more than a pump and dump. If it had more history, I would say it might have a chance, but I don't think so. Let me see here. I put 12, 12, and then what's today? Today's the 10th, I believe, 11th. Well, it's really the 10th, so I'll leave it at the 7th. So 12 and 7. All right. So here it is. So yeah, I guess you made more Bitcoins. You made more Bitcoins in RaiBlock, but looks like it's hit its peak at 7,000 Satoshis, and I think that's about it. That's the peak because that was the peak last time, and most likely it's going to be dumping from this point on. That's just my opinion. So, all right. So that was RaiBlocks. Let's go on to the next story here. And excuse me while I mute myself. You know, I do have children, and my little one uh, was sick and coughed and spit out a loogie, and all that. And after doing that, looks at me and says, "I want daddy," and comes to me and starts coughing in my face. And now I have a runny nose. So hold on while I mute myself. I have to blow my nose. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Oh goodness. I'm surprised I'm able to talk. Anyways, let's have a look at this one. Bitcoin Platinum created by Korean teenager is a scam. Local markets erupt. All right, so Bitcoin Platinum is a scam. All right, so let's see what happens. Oh goodness, oh goodness. So it turns out this whole Bitcoin Platinum was started by a Korean teenager, and more PR or marketing rubbish than any solid development. So here's the let's see if it will. Okay, there you go. So apparently this is off of Twitter. This is off of Twitter, and it's obviously in Korean here, and we could probably go to it, but I won't be able to do anything. But there is a translated version of this, and it's right here, right here. All right, so here it is. So the brief statements above, written with highly informal tone, read, Bitcoin shorting, very good. And so who told you to buy Bitcoin? Shorting Bitcoin is the best. So that's what it translates out to. So it looks like the person who started Bitcoin Platinum, was the whole point to FUD the market for basically creating hard forks, trying to create a short, which ironically didn't work because the price has probably gone up since Bitcoin Platinum was introduced in the market. So it says right here as well, in this tweet down here, this is the translated form here. It says, please forgive me. Bitcoin Platinum is a scam coin. I created the project to earn 5 million Korean won, which is $4,590. So interesting development with Bitcoin Platinum. Let's I think I have it. I have a link here. Let's go check out Bitcoin Platinum real quick. There it is. Let me see. Which one should I go to? Let me use my other. Go here. All right, let's go to Bitcoin Platinum and let's check it out. I think there's a tweet. So I think it's safe to say Bitcoin Platinum is a scam. I think there were a lot of kind of doubts about this. Mining pools, let me see. Okay, so Bitcoin Platinum, let me see, tweets are in Korean, so I can't even read them. Let's see what it says. If anybody can read Korean, okay, well, since I can't read Korean, I can only read the English parts. It looks like there's a lot of Korean here lately. So it would be interesting to see what happens. Let me see, this is 15 hours ago in English. Let me see. So last time I checked, I looked at this tweet right here. It says, announcement, hard fork will occur in 24 hours. Be prepared for the next crypto division. That was December 9th. Obviously, this is about 24 hours ago. And I don't think there's going to be a hard fork, people. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a hard fork. Let's see. Bitcoin Platinum fans, if you have any issues regarding the development team, please follow this account. Let's see if there's anything else that says here. Okay, it looks like a lot of Korean. All right. And then there's a lot of other Korean. And then what does this say here? Okay, we found a critical problem at syncing process, and therefore the fork will inevitably be delayed 5,000. This occurred because we implemented the BTC1 core source code and is exactly the same problem with it. Okay. Let me see. Lightning Bitcoin is on block 49999, which I don't even think Lightning Bitcoin is going to happen either. I think that's obviously another scam. And then it says, then it will be 1+2 event for all Bitcoin holders. Okay. Well, oh, look at this. Just reported just in. Time to pull the plug, comrade. So I wonder if this is happening. You can see this is the, I believe, the Cointelegraph article. Is it the Cointelegraph article? Yeah, Cointelegraph article. Cool. This guy's still scamming. I'll give him credit for that. Not bad. Hey, DJ Calv, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. We're having a lot of fun here. All right, let me see what this. The scam is up. You have been busted. Scam coin. Liar scam. BTCP. Delay twice. Are you kidding? you're very scam crypto coin. Oh gosh. Oh goodness. Reading through this is fun. Performance mining for anyone. I don't know what this is. You are scam. Okay. But let's read some of this. Nice scam. Make sure you attend school on your way home. Lulz. Wow. I don't even know what this is. What is this? Okay. All right. What else does it say? It says, what pool do we mine on, please? Do not mine it. BTP is scam. Okay. All right. I think it's fair to say this jig is up. This jig is up on this one. All right. There we go. So if anybody had any doubts, let me see. Oh, here's the GitHub. Or it looks like what? Oh, I don't know what this is, but apparently there's. Please be careful of scam sites. Okay, this is just a little note here. Okay. Well, there's so much for Bitcoin Platinum, everybody. So much for Bitcoin Platinum. And let me see here. Let's see if we can go to. Let's go to the bitcointalk.org and see what's going on over there. All right, let's see if there's anybody's actually talking about it. Now, you know, this is kind of where it originally came from, and you see here it says, "This is a joke. It was never meant to be real." But of course, you got some gullible fool who is a scammer, who is basically a scammer, who picked up on it, and not only did a scammer pick up on it, but you know, embarrassing. I don't know if Adam Meister is going to come out to update this. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But you know, Disrupt Meister, as you see here, Disrupt Meister. So this was a joke thread, but the real BTP appears to be here, which is his Twitter right here, leading to the Twitter. And then I talk about all the legitimate crypto dividends on my YouTube channel, YouTube user Baltimore Hourly Videos. Let's just go there and let's see if it is who I think it is. Hey, Richie Rich, you're saying you think Tai Zen and Leon Fu and someone the most dangerous guys in the Bitcoin space. They keep pumping scam after scam. Yeah, they do. Well, what do you know? Look at this. This goes to Adam Meister's page here. So that pretty much takes you to Adam Meister's page here. Let me see. I'm honestly starting to hope they get thrown in jail for pumping these scams. Well, you know, a lot of people have to start complaining to the government, ironically. And in this space, it seems like a lot of people don't want to do that. And that's you know, I kind of see the folly in this whole system that people are in. You know, they allow or perpetuate these scams to happen because of I think their overall belief that somehow government is bad. You know, and in reality, since they're not able to protect themselves or are willing to actually take force upon themselves to prevent these things, there's no other choice but to go to a government in some cases. Now, the other option is, you know, you could have a mob rule and basically, you know, put pressure of threat, I guess, or pressure of a social pressure of shame onto these people to the point where they leave or something. But really, what's going to really stop people is basically, I guess you could say jail, but more of the sense of punishment in a form of jail, or in some countries, it's death. Right? I mean, like you want to stop people from breaking the law. Well, if you put the punishment of death, I mean, that sometimes it doesn't work and sometimes it does. You know, there's some people who just never care enough of, you know, they literally just don't care. You know, they have no care whatsoever. Let me see what else is in the chat here. Oh goodness, you guys are having really fun in the chat, aren't you? So, well, there you go, Bitcoin Platinum. Hopefully, Adam Meister can remove this. Please, Adam Meister, if you're watching, remove this if you could. All right. I don't think we need to spread anymore. So let me see here. So I guess it's safe to say Bitcoin Platinum is not going to happen until it's proven otherwise. I think it's safe to get rid of Bitcoin Platinum now. All right, so that's one down. And again, let's reiterate this the most here. It's time to stop with the hard forks, people. Stop with the hard forks. There we go. It's time to stop. It's time to stop with these hard forks. Really, people, it is time to stop. I mean, I'm so far. How many of these have been like scams? Like Bitcoin Gold has been a scam. You could pretty much say it was like a scam for the most part. Like a lot of people did get scammed. Although hopefully they're going to have a market. And I really kind of, that's being optimistic. And then what else? Okay, so the Bitcoin Cash, there's Bitcoin Gold, there's Bitcoin Diamond, a mainnet, but look at all the ones that has failed since, and this is just to fork Bitcoin. Let me see. Gosh, I have to go to my list of. Okay, so Bitcoin Silver was one of them. Bitcoin Platinum was attempted. Bitcoin Uranium, obviously a joke. Bitcoin Cash Plus, that might be a scam. We have to assume that all these forks are now scams. Bitcoin Cashlick, we have to assume that's a scam now. Super Bitcoin, we're gonna have to assume that's a scam. The Bitcoin Diamond BID is probably most likely a scam. It's it's just ridiculous if you look at the website. It obviously has no support whatsoever. And then Bitcoin Diamond. What else was there? Segwit 2x. That was obviously fake. Lightning Bitcoin. So really, we're from this point on, every fork that comes by is one is just going to have to assume that it's a scam for the most part. Go. Anyways, there you go. There's the link to this article is in the notes section. Go ahead and check it out. So I think we can cross Bitcoin Platinum off the list now. I think there's Bitcoin God coming up, which I think that's just a troll. That's a joke, obviously. Chinese people don't believe in God. I personally think all Chinese people, I would say most of communist China do not believe in God. So to have Chandler Gao offer a candy to the rest of the world is obviously a joke. It's a troll. Let's go on to the next thing here. Nope. Oh, it's just refreshing here. Hopefully it'll refresh faster. All right, so here's another one here. Okay, so if you're wondering why Litecoin all of a sudden had a big pump, I think this story has a lot of truth to it. So Bitfinex withdrawal difficulties may have contributed to Litecoin spike. There's some very truth to this. There's some truth to this here. Why else would people want to use Litecoin other than the fact that Bitcoin really has high fees right now? And also, a lot of people on Bitfinex apparently can't withdraw their Bitcoin, their IOTAs. If anybody's using Dash, it can be withdrawn very quickly. So let me read the first paragraph right here to give you some idea. Cryptocurrency traders are attributing the recent Litecoin spike to withdrawal issues that have plagued Bitfinex in recent days. The theory proposes that customers of the exchange Litecoin withdrawals processing successfully may have inspired a rush to Bitfinex's customers to convert their holdings into Litecoin, as suggested by the post on Reddit. There was a Reddit post somewhere. Let me see, where's that link to the Reddit post? Okay, so there is a link to a post here. Let's just open it up and let's see where it goes. Let it go. It says a thread titled "If You Want Withdraw in Litecoin." That kind of rhymes really good. No wonder it worked out so well. Could you imagine? If you want withdrawal, convert all to Litecoin. That's a nice little line to it. I think a lot of people like the line more than the concept of growing out of Bitfinex. Now, why would you want to withdraw out of Bitfinex? They're making so many tethers there. You know, protect your profits and tether. Okay, interesting. So, anything else to this here? Okay, no. Let's check out the post. Next little chart. Let me just go down to the chart of Litecoin. Yeah, it's making its all-time high in US dollars, but if I price this out in Bitcoin, it's not making it's not really making any all-time highs against Bitcoin. But let's see here. Screen. Sorry about that. Yeah, let me go over here and we'll go take real quick. Okay. Quick. Litecoin is on my list of shorts, by the way. Obviously, by the lack of withdrawal issues on Bitfinex, which could be possibly true. A bear 0.01, yeah, almost 0.01. It's actually a negative, but up. Oh goodness. Not a Bitcoin maker. You can't make any more Bitcoins with Litecoins, unfortunately. Slowing down right now. Hey, Brad Taylor, welcome. Oh, so let me see here. 2017, 12, and 07. Just check out the last 3 days. All right, let's check out what's going on with Litecoin. Well, Litecoin is kind of trending up the last 3 days. Gonna break. That's not making all-time Bitcoin highs. That's for sure. It's made some fiat highs, but it looks like it's starting to trend down. I think after people start using all their Litecoin and to get off the Bitfinex exchange, because IOTA is getting stuck from what I understand. Bitcoins are getting stuck. I know there's Ethereum, but Ethereum with the crypto kitty cat problem is slowing down the whole network. And then issues from Bitfinex with Ethereum or Dash or whatever it may be. But if Litecoin's going through pretty good, I can see why everyone's going just to transfer their money out of Bitfinex. Seems like Bitfinex is a ticking time bomb. I think there's a lot of people who know that and don't want to get or Bitfinexed. So let's see here if it works. I'm going to the Reddit post. Okay, finally it's going. Okay, there it is. All right, so here's the Reddit post. It says, if you want withdraw, convert all in Litecoin. I was 2 days trying to withdraw Bitcoin and IOTA and ETH without any luck. Some user write convert all in Litecoin, so I did it and withdraw 10 minutes. All right, and here's proof, and I guess you can go to link. So it looks like confirmation. It says that's Litecoin for you, always reliable. Okay. Agreed. Did this too. All moved to Binance within an hour. Some confirmation. So that could be the reason, everyone, that Litecoin is it's definitely moving. So there's that. All right, let's go on to the next thing here. Oh goodness, my computer is really slowing down now. All right, finally coming in. Right, so let's talk about Bitcoin wallets for a little bit, and what you all use in the chat, or what your suggestion of a good Bitcoin wallet, because I'm reading this, and I can obviously tell it was a paid news article, because the wallets that they're talking about, I wouldn't even write about them at all. The best, in my opinion, the best wallets I've used have been Coinbin and I don't really even use that as a wallet. I just control the private keys, and I just broadcast my transactions. And then other than that, mobile wallet has kind of been at Mycelium, and again, I use the same concept. I just the transaction. I scan the private encrypted private key. I send out the amount of Bitcoins I want, and it usually returns the change back to the same address. I drain that one particular address, I just generate a new, and that's how I use wallets. So the best wallet that I've been using is actually a paper wallet. Let me see here. So let's just scroll down. Let's take a look at some of the wallets that this Bits Online has recommended, and I'll just tell you all the problems with it. So the first thing they mention is Coinbase. Coinbase made easy with many services and rules. Now, these are all mostly web-based, so I don't know why this would be considered a desktop wallet, mobile phone. Excuse me here. There's a moment of silence. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Again, I had to clear my sinuses. As far as Coinbase, I would not recommend that as a wallet. First of all, you never know if Coinbase will even be up. I think it was yesterday, or even 2 days ago, Coinbase was down your Bitcoin to buy or sell. And not only that, you don't even control your private keys. So Coinbase, I would never recommend Coinbase as a desktop wallet. That's my opinion. Not a very good opinion using Coinbase. Another one is, okay, blockchain.info as a wallet. I think this is probably the most popular and most obvious wallet for new people. Articles written for new people, but I would not. I never recommend blockchain. I've seen people who I trade with use it, and I had one guy tell me he had all his Bitcoin disappear. I'm not going to use blockchaininfo.com or blockchain.info for a wallet. You do control your private keys, kinda, but I think their security is very poor. And the third thing is, I've heard, and this is several times back in 2013 and recently, I think I had Qbro sent me a Pastebin post about how the wallet was compromised. It's being their private keys are being leaked somehow, and people's blockchain.info wallets are at risk. And so that's the other issue. And again, this is a web-based hot wallet. You control your private keys, but the private keys are basically online. It's web-based. So I would not recommend this. I would not recommend this to anybody. I think there's just too much risk involved in using this. Plus, you could be socially engineered to give up your email, and then next thing you know, you've gotten your private keys essentially stolen from you through social engineering of your email account. And yes, all of these Coinbase and blockchain support. So, not that I don't know if SegWit really makes that much of a difference. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Well, because it's only been implemented recently and nothing's been done. Here's another one, Exapo wallet, which I would never recommend to anyone. You even own your private keys, so that's even worse. Whether it's a buy or sell function really doesn't matter. For me, what's important is that you can store your Bitcoins or your private keys. So this is horrible. Whoever has written this article should really reconsider taking this down. This is not a very good. These wallets are not very good. All of them. Most of these wallets are not very good. The one especially that's being well profiled, example, Coinbase, blockchain.info. Jax. Jax, I've never used Jax, and I don't even like Jax. Even though you do own your private keys, I've heard many bad things about it. And again, I don't care if there's a sell or buy function or a shapeshift function. Trust me, I don't want an altcoin. I don't want my wallet to be offering me altcoins. All right. Now, I do use Coinami, but it's not a desktop version. Obviously, it's just an Android version. So, and again, I don't buy altcoins. People who offer me altcoins, I gladly accept. I don't want to be rude, but I will never sell your altcoin. I won't, because I don't know what to do with it. But you know, I try to be polite as much as possible to people who for people who are altcoin traders or who use altcoins. If they offer me their altcoin as a donation, I'll accept it and I won't dump it. And I'll experiment with it. I'll use it. And I'm assuming that's why they want to donate it to me, to how it works. And I've learned a lot. I think Brian donated some Ethereum. Pivx was donated to me. I learned a lot about Pivx. I've learned a lot about Dash. Dash was a donation. Doge, I got donations in Doge, again from Brian. Monero, I've gotten some donations from Monero, and I've learned a lot from using Monero on a paper wallet. It's very paper wallet, very confusing, very hard, and their block explorer is very difficult. And so unless you have that view key, it's, I'm learning a lot with all these different cryptocurrencies and how they operate and work and what makes them different. So in that sense, it's useful. Altcoins, no, I would not. I would not buy those altcoins. In my Bitcoin for those altcoins. Okay, Exodus Wallet. Never recommend Exodus Wallet. And here's, first of all, really is, this is not a web app. It actually is a desktop. So there is no browser. Okay, there's no browser per se. You have to download the Exodus wallet onto your desktop. Second thing is you have to put in whatever altcoin that they offer. You have to put in some kind of cryptocurrency into the wallet in order to back up your wallet. A big issue. Okay, I don't care what they say. They're trying to make a claim. Well, we're offering servers and we want to make sure wallet. We just don't want people downloading. I think that's bull. That's bull. That's BS. Because there's a lot of wallets out there, and they don't even they don't do anything like that. The other thing is, you have to register with your. I think you have to register with your email or something just to open the account, or get up or whatever to create a password. So they're gathering information on you. The whole purpose of their wallet is not for storage of your coins. The purpose of this wallet is to have you trade using Shapeshift. And that's how they make their money. They get their money from Shapeshift, through trading of Shapeshift onto your wallet. And so this is not a good wallet. This is a horrible wallet. And like most wallets, they only have a 12-word mnemonic seed, which is I wouldn't say the least amount. I mean, the least amount is 3. It's not a high amount. I mean, high, you want as the highest amount, which is 24, if you just select the default settings. And if you want more, I mean, I think Monero has like 52 or something like that, or something ridiculous. So Exodus, I would not recommend. And plus, there are scammy people on YouTube who are totally recommending Exodus. And it's kind of being marketed through YouTube that way. I would never recommend this as far as keeping your coins safe. And then again, remember, Craig Grant got his Bitcoin stolen on an Exodus, and so did Trayvon James and Crypto Nick and who else? I don't know whoever. Some people, they all got hacked, right, using their Exodus wallet. So why in the hell would you recommend to anybody, right? If people use Exodus wallet, it's a bad marketing. So don't recommend. Hey, Chase that coin, how you doing? And okay, so let's see what else they talk about. So Electrum, I think is a good wallet. If you're going to use, and I know it requires a little bit more technical skill, but I think the technical skill will help you, because then you'll start be able to use a lot more advanced wallets. Electrum is probably a wallet. I don't have it. I don't use it. I have a wallet on my desktop. Okay, I generate my own private keys, and then I used Coinbin to create a and broadcast the transaction. And then I use Mycelium as a mobile wallet to do that as well. But they also recommend Bitcoin Core, Electrum, Green Address, and Strongcoin. So, but if I was going to recommend a wallet, I would recommend Coinbin. I'd recommend using Coinbin. So let's take a look here. I was ever going to recommend? It's not really a wallet, but it's a couple things. It's a wallet, and it's a wallet generator. It's a private key generator. It's a way to understand how the transactions get signed and verified, and then how it gets broadcasted. You're able to control the fee amount, so you understand how the fees are done, and then you also understand how to the whole process of how many inputs and how many outputs you have, and why that it takes up, you know, those the amount of outputs and inputs determines the byte size of your transactions, and that's how you can calculate the fee. So you know, it's not for new people, but new people can use it. Okay, it's definitely usable for new people. Another one, let me see. Another one is let me see. If another one you can use is the mnemonic code converter. Okay, so here's another one, a mnemonic code converter by Coinami. You can use that, and plus, you know, both Coinbin and Coinami here, the mnemonic code converter you can use offline. And then you can actually put in your recovery phrase here, or you could just generate a new one, and you can actually select 24 words, and then voila, boom. And then after generating your recovery phrase, you could import to any wallet, your Trezor, your whatever. After you pick, let me see, let's pick, let's see here, let's pick Bitcoin Gold, whatever. We'll just pick Bitcoin Gold. There we go. And then this works with your multi-account wallets. See all the addresses here, but no SegWit yet. No SegWit, unfortunately. You could pick multi-account wallets, HD multi-account wallets. This is another HD wallet. So this is another one. And again, this also helps, even if you're new and this may be too advanced for you, this can still help you understand how this stuff works. And so when you start using your cryptocurrencies, you can actually keep it, you can actually be very creative on how to keep it secure. You could have the words memorized. You could have it, you know, inconspicuously, you know, in a song or something. I mean, you could do a lot of interesting things here. So this is another one that I would recommend people using. And so a lot of good stuff here. Let me see here. So that's it for that. So let's okay. So that's it for the news part here. We'll close some of these. All right. So finally, I mean, I'll eventually get to a Bitcoin, the mempool. I'll do the fee. I'll go over the fees. I'll go over the Bitcoin mempool, and then I'll go do a chart analysis as well. Why not? It's Sunday night. If anybody watches this Monday morning, I mean, I'm sure they'll get a lot of good news here. So this is the bond trading view. We'll take a look at these coins here, flagged for shorts. The first coin is Waves. Let's take a look at Waves. I'll also go over Salome.io. I want to see like all these trending coins. I'll do a chart analysis on that. All right, wow. Waves is not a good. Waves is a horrible, horrible investment. And I'm just comparing to Bitcoin value, right? I'm just comparing to Bitcoin value. But looking at this chart, it's just like all the other altcoins that pumped during the summer, and that's when they peaked out. And that's probably the most they'll ever peak out, because it looks like here it peaked out at the same Bitcoin amount as right here. So if you look at this, this is a horrible, horrible investment. It's trending downwards since the summer. So if you were involved in Waves at its peak during the summer, you're not making any money, or you're not making any Bitcoin, and again you have an opportunity cost that's lost in the fact that you would have made even more money if you just held on to your Bitcoin. So let's have a look at the date here. All right, let's move here. 12:07. Well, chase that coin. You may be right about when you get in, but again, I still think if you put the money, if you just trade fiat to Bitcoin, you probably, if you just trade that pair alone, you would have made more money than going from a fiat to a Bitcoin to an altcoin and then back to Bitcoin, and then you probably end up going back into Tether, most likely, if you're trading on one of those like Bittrex or any other exchange, Poloniex or anything. So you're trading between 3 pairs versus trading between 2 pairs, right? You've effectively are losing more money and during those transactions between the 3 pairs versus just 2 pairs. And so you probably, I guess you could make money. The thing is, you are making money, but are you really making more Bitcoin? So the question is, can you make more Bitcoin? That's what I want to know. Are altcoiners making more Bitcoin? Because of course you're all making money, and yes you are, but the truth is, if you had Bitcoin to begin with, you would have made even more money. And so making more money with Bitcoin versus altcoins, why would you even trade with altcoin? So is Waves, did Waves make more Bitcoin in the last 3 days? The answer is I think no. It looks like it's going to, but it's not by much. If you look here, this is where it starts. This is where it starts. Like if I just look in the area, this is where it starts. This is where it ends. Didn't make that much more Bitcoin in the last 3 days. Okay, so you would have to like ride the wave down. You have to sell here, then buy back in here, and then hopefully you've already sold or are going to sell here pretty soon. Looks like this pump is going to be over pretty soon. When we look at hindsight, people always say, yeah, I bought in here, and then I sold here, and then I bought, or let me see, I sold, okay, I sold here, and then I bought here. and then I sold here again, and then I bought back here at one of these lower points, and then I sold here. And people say that, but I just I have to admit I don't believe them. I just don't believe that they actually bought at the top every time, and so okay, they sold at the top, and then bought back at the bottom, and then sold back at the top and bought at the trading doesn't work that way. Okay, making a video about what you did works that way, but I'm highly suspicious about people who do that, and I would have to say, let me see your account or something, which they probably won't. And if they do, it would be obvious they lost Bitcoin, although they may have made money. All right, they may have made money. I think that's not hard to do. You could have picked any altcoin. I mean, you don't even have to do any research. Just pick an altcoin that everybody tells you to do, and yeah, you would have made more money. But the fact is, you would have made even more money. You would have made even more money if you just held on to your Bitcoin, or if you eventually dumped all these altcoins at the right time and got into Bitcoin. You would have made just more. You would have made insane amount more money. You wouldn't be making a video about altcoins. You'd be making a video about Bitcoin. That's just my opinion. Okay, so let's go on to the next one here. Litecoin. Again, this is US. This is in percentage in US dollars. Let's just take a quick look again in Bitcoin. Totally different story, right? You're losing Bitcoin right now on some of them, or most of them. Some of them you're actually gaining a little bit. So Litecoin again. Litecoin's up here. Oh, let me see Litecoin. We'll take a look at Litecoin here. LTC. Yeah, I looked at Litecoin before. You're not making overall the life of Litecoin. You're not making more Bitcoin. Overall, the trend says this is not a winner. And in light of the fact that a lot of people are getting into Litecoin only to move their money out of Bitfinex or avoid Bitcoin's large backlog, that's not a very strong use case. Your use case is Bitcoin is kind of being filled with in the mempool. That's your UK. That's basically your use case. The sole purpose of your token. That's not a very good use case, in my opinion. Let me see here, and I'll take a look at the last 3 days again. Although last 3 day performance, let's just take a look. It's probably doing very well. Yeah, so there you go. It's in the last 3 days. If you did have Litecoin, you've done very well. You made more Bitcoin, but it looks like it's flattening out, and it's making some use because of perhaps the backlog and or withdrawal issues from Bitfinex. And if that's the case, as soon as everyone drains their money out of Bitfinex, Litecoin will probably go back down again. Right, so Populous, PPT, let's check out PPT real quick. This has gotten shorter because the opportunity of making the most amount of Bitcoin has already passed. So all those coins that you saw from yesterday, you're not going to get as much Bitcoin anymore. So you're going to have to be a bag holder and wait for the next pump. PPT, Populous, let's check them out. This is an ERC20 token. Looks like it's performed very well, and well, not really. So overall, if I look at this is from July 2017, July 11th. If you look here, it starts here, and then it ends here. So you wasted time and you wasted opportunity in this coin. Now, if you bought in at the bottom, sure, I guess you could say you made money. But overall, if I look at this thing just has range within, like, I look at the left side of the chart, it starts here. I look at the right side of the chart, it ends here. Maybe you had some people that trade places in the order of how much Bitcoin they came in and left with, but overall, as a whole, it hasn't gained anything. So you just wasted time and opportunity playing around with this populist token when you could have just held on to your Bitcoin and maybe would have made 16,000. I don't know. I'll look at the chart. I think it was headed towards 15. Maybe it's at 16 now. I haven't really checked. I'm not even going to look at the 3-day on Populous. I think you should just get out while you can. I think that's probably the most Bitcoin you're going to get. And as time goes on, the Bitcoin's just going to go higher, and Populous is just, as far as compared to Bitcoin value, it's just going to just slowly go sideways or just go back down. As far as US dollar, of course, all these coins have gone up in value because they are nothing more than fractional representations of Bitcoin. All right. And so if Bitcoin goes up, these altcoins will go up in value. When Bitcoin dumps, altcoins will also go dump. But the interesting thing is, the only time you can make more Bitcoins with your altcoin is when Bitcoin dumps. But unfortunately, your altcoin, the price of your altcoin US dollar also dumps. But you will get more Bitcoin out of your altcoin. But no one's going to do that because the value is lost already. You know, you'll get more Bitcoin, but you'll basically you have the same amount of money, and it's actually lower than when Bitcoin was at a higher price. So the value proposition with altcoins, I don't understand. It's a losing proposition. And if I'm not able to convince you, then fine, trade your altcoin. I don't care, because the more people that trade altcoins are eventually making all Bitcoiners rich. Okay, all you altcoiners who are trading altcoins, eventually all that money is just going to Bitcoin. That's all that's happening. And you're making all the Bitcoin holders, all the Bitcoin hodlers, you're making them richer. And that's why the price of Bitcoin's at $16,000, almost $17,000. XEM, that's NEM. I don't know why they just didn't get NEM for. Oh, sorry. XEM. That's NEM, but XEM. Okay, that's new economy movement. Let's see what kind of movement it's doing. And I've probably already seen it, and I'll just keep saying it again. It's probably not going to look good. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, this does not look good. And here's the weird part is right now we are in a bull market. I should say Bitcoin is in a bull market. That's probably the problem. If all the altcoins were in a bull market except for Bitcoin, then it'd be a different story. But since all cryptocurrencies are in a bull market and the most bullish market is Bitcoin, that's why you're seeing a chart like this. I'm not even going to even bother looking at the 3-day. It's well, okay, I'll do it. I'll look at the 3-day. Jacob TS, Bitcoin's at 16,845 on Bitstamp. Wow. Okay, if 3 days ago, if you're in, and you should have gone out like a day and a half ago, that was probably the most Bitcoins you would have gotten. And I think at this point in time, you're probably, as more time goes on with NEM, new economy movement, you're losing opportunity on getting more Bitcoin, and probably because Bitcoin's going up in price. So there's that. It's salt. Goodness, I've done this salt thing again. It's gonna. And again, the whole point of this video is to kind of show you the altcoins don't work. They don't make more Bitcoin, and if you do make more Bitcoin, you have to do a lot of work to make more Bitcoin. Like you really have to pick the bottoms at the right time and the tops at the right time on each and every case. That's very hard. It's not impossible, but it's hard. But you have to do a lot of work. Wouldn't it be just easier if you just bought the Bitcoins and just let the other fools play the altcoin game and basically let them make you rich of their foolishness and thinking that somehow they're going to make they're going to get they make money on altcoins, but the only reason they make money on altcoins because the price of Bitcoin has gone up way more, and altcoins are nothing more than fractional representations of Bitcoin. That's all they are. So here's Salt, and yeah, I just keep looking at this, and even though it keeps making, let's have a look at the dollar value. This is okay. So let's just look at the dollar value, and yes, if you own Salt, you probably made some money. Look at that. That green line is how much it is in US dollar value. All right. So the only reason that green line is going up is because the price of Bitcoin is going up. All right, because these altcoins are nothing more than fractional representations of Bitcoin. Although it is an ERC20 token, but yeah, this is a bad investment, a very bad investment. All right, so let's take a look at another one here, Tron. Okay, Tron came out of nowhere. Let's see. Actually, let's have a look at the Bitcoin value in Tron. Tron actually is a little winner. Tron's a winner. If you TRX Tron, I don't even know what Tron is. Matter of fact, let me go to Salome.io and see if Tron comes up. Salome. There we go. Media volume. Let's see if there is there a search function on this thing. I don't think there is a search function on this. I was hoping to see if there's any social media on this. None. Okay. Well, I'll just take a look at this. Wow. Well, it's a little winner, but not by much. It's not by much. Well, if people want to be scared, if you know this idea that scared money makes no money, well, I have to disagree because scared money doesn't make money either. All right, scared money doesn't make money. I don't know. I mean, a brave money doesn't make money. Okay, in my opinion, brave money doesn't make money. People say scared money doesn't make money. Well, if you kept your money and didn't buy any cryptocurrencies, I would agree with you. But I'm not talking about fiat currency. I'm talking about Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, right? So having your money in Bitcoin, all right, having your money in Bitcoin, you've definitely outperformed probably all the altcoins out there in absolute dollar term value. All right, and not only that, you can scale your profits. That's the other thing I keep telling people is you can't scale on an altcoin. You can't scale your profits on an altcoin. All right, because the altcoin market is not liquid enough and is based upon the simple fact it's a zero-sum game because altcoin markets have no market outside the exchange. Like if I bought Tron, like this, whatever this is, this ERC20 token, and I go to, let's say I go to Ethereum meetup, do you honestly think that there's somebody at that Ethereum meetup that's going to buy a Tron token from me for what is it? What's the price on this right now? For 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 less than it's not even worth a penny. It's half a penny. It's actually a fraction of a penny. So let's say they bought they bought 1,000 from me. Do you think someone's gonna give me like $5 for some Tron? I really highly doubt it. I really highly doubt it. They'll probably tell you to sell it for to dump Tron for Ethereum, and they'll buy the Ethereum from you, but they're not going to buy Tron from you. And that's the problem with these markets is you're playing, once you go into an exchange, you're playing a zero sum game. So the only money you're taking is from the other greater fools that are participants in that market. That's it. There is no use of this token at all. And so that's, if you are making money, you're making money because you took it from somebody else, not because there's a market use for it and that it's a sustainable use. So, but anyway, that's just my opinion. You know, that's me. Let's have a look here. Tron Komodo. Komodo is the last thing on my list. It's a very small list now because the opportunity of making the most amount of Bitcoins, all right, the opportunity is now gone with all these other coins that was on my list from yesterday and the days before. So this is probably this is it. The list is getting smaller, and the opportunity of making more Bitcoins is passing by each day. Now there'll probably be more. Who knows? Maybe some of them pop up again. Maybe some of them will pump. Let me see. KMD, Komodo, KMD. There we go. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like it's breaking it's breaking this 25,000 Satoshi barrier, and it doesn't look good. So, well, if you had a chance to sell, this is probably where you want to before it goes down any further. Um, you know, Komodo, I don't think it was a very good. I don't think it's very good. That's just my opinion. I don't own any of these. I don't own any of these altcoins. If I do own the altcoins, it is because of donations, and it's and I don't sell donations. I keep them to experiment and use them to try to get a better understanding. And some of these coins, you know, some of these cryptocurrencies, you know, they're fun to use for experimentation and using them. You know, it's interesting, but they really have no use outside of the exchanges or even outside of just experimentation. And I know that for a fact because nobody ever comes to me and says, "I want Komodo. I want some Komodo." No one has come to me and said, "I want some Komodo." No one gives me a Komodo address and expects me to send them Komodo for their hard-earned fiat currency that they've somehow acquired. That just never happens. It never has happened. Never will. Not with me anyway. Yeah, this thing is trending downwards now. So the opportunity of making the most amount of Bitcoins was 3 days ago. And as each day passes by, you will not make as much Bitcoin. You want me to 21 million club? You want me to check out tips? Hey, Crypto Cotter, how you doing? I just saw you in the chat. Looks like you've been talking. TIP. Let me see here. TIPS. TIP. Fedora coin. Oh my goodness. This thing is a fraction of a Satoshi. Can you even buy it? Wow. So this thing pumped during the summer, or not even the summer. When did this thing pump? March of last year, has never recovered, and it's just dying. This thing is just dying. I would, well, there's not much Bitcoin you could have made with this. Wow. I don't even know if you can even trade this with fractional Bitcoins. Well, this is horrible. If you do have Fedora coin right now, you should probably get rid of it while it's at like 1 Satoshi. You should probably get rid of it while it's at 1 Satoshi, because it looks like in the last 3 days it's sub 1 Satoshi, which is really bad. You want to pump Fedora coin. The only way Fedora coin can be pumped if people actually give up their Bitcoin and become a bag holder of Fedora coin, and the Bitcoin price goes up, and then technically you could make money, fiat currency, but then you would have to trade in your Fedora coin. You have to stop being a bag holder, and once you stop being a bag holder, this is what happens. You get this, like when people want to cash out, this is what happens. So you're playing a zero-sum game against the other participants who are foolish enough to become a bag holder of Fedora coin. I would say it's being pumped right now, and if you have it, you should probably dump it and don't be a bag holder on this. So I wouldn't even get in it. I wouldn't even get in it to begin with. So, but if you do have Fedora coin, you should probably get out. You should probably get out. It's a waste of your time and money. The more time and money you waste on these altcoins, the more time you have an opportunity that's been lost in having Bitcoin. Let me see, Ember coin. You want me to take a look at Ember coin? Hold on, I gotta clear my sinuses, so I'm gonna mute myself here for a little bit. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Clear my sinuses a little bit. So Ember coin, oh my God, this lost in both US dollar value and Bitcoin value. This is a double whammy. So basically Bitcoin has gone up in price, and all the bag holders don't want to be bag holders anymore. Wow. 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 This is since July 27th. So this is just barely 6 months ago. Oh goodness, this is like Embercoin. Whoever got involved with Embercoin, obviously all the bag holders. If you're still a bag holder, you probably lost out. Anyways, Embercoin is not a good coin. It's a pump and dump. Wow. This is a bad coin. Don't. This is a dead coin again. So it was a pump and dump for the most part. So, is there a Chewbacca bucks? Don't tell me. Really, Chewbacca bucks? No, there's not a Chewbacca bucks. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the Bitcoin. I'm going to take a look at the Bitcoin mempool here. Let me see here. me see. Actually, Joho's mempool. There we go. Oh, I was going to check out the Salome here. There's a new function here, it looks like. I'm going to check out all these trending coins too. Let's see how that works out. But here, there's a new ICO function here. It tells you all the new ICOs that are coming out. Oh, my thing's taking so long. Let me refresh this. All right, chase that coin. If you wanna come on our show and we talk trading, let's do that. We'll have some fun. Some reason it's not working right now. Must be my browser. Okay, so much for that. There's a new function that says ICOs new. It gives you all the new ICOs that are coming out and it sorts them by date and social volume and all that. So that might be a good way to see all the stuff coming in. But let's take a look at this. Sophia TX, is it here? I think that was under the new ICO. Okay, Dragon Coin. So Dragon Coin, DRGN. Okay, let's go. Okay, let me go back to CoinMarketCap here. Let me see, what is it? DRGN, Dragon Coin. Okay, let's check out Dragon Coin now. Dragon Coin. All right. Is this the coin that some employee from Walt Disney was making? Let me see. It's an ERC20 token. Okay, so an Ethereum ERC20 token. Well, it's I guess you made some Bitcoin on this actually. Looks like it's being pumped. If it starts here and then ends up slightly higher. So it's only December 3rd, so it's really not that old. It's literally what, 8 days old. And so I guess if you bought in at that time, yeah, you made some Bitcoin. But I have a feeling like everything else, it's probably going to pump and it's probably reached its peak here, and it's probably going to dump, or it's in the process of being dumped. I'll go check out the live coin watch. We'll see what the 30-day says, and then I'll finally get into a Bitcoin. So yeah, this looks like it's peaking out, and if you have Dragon Coin or Dragon Chain, you should probably get out of it for Bitcoin. Anyways, what's next here? What's trending next? Oh, it's stuck. Oh, anyway, that's too bad. Let's see what's trending here. RaiBlocks. I already took at RaiBlocks. Dash. Should I look at Dash? Not really. Let me see. We looked at Waves, so we know Waves is being pumped, and I think you all should get out of that before it starts dumping. Lumens. Stellar Lumens is pumping, but I don't. Let me see. XLM. What does it look like compared to Bitcoin? It's not on my list anymore. All right. Okay, so let's have a look at stellar lumens. So it's still pumping. Besides the fact that its last 3 days, it's getting a dump here. Yeah, you're literally 3 days ago is probably the best time to dump it. If you haven't already dumped it, you should probably consider dumping it because it's slowly trending downwards. It's going back to its mean, to its average, which is, well, lower than this. XPD petrodollar coins. I got me a coin. Okay, so let's take a look at XPD petrodollar coin. Wow, these are nothing but pumps. If you look at this, it just pumps right here and also pump right here. That's the most looks like it's ever been. Let's have a look at the 3 days. If you're already in it, you probably are enjoying the nice pump here. And it looks like it's already dumped. Yeah, it looks like 3 days ago was probably the best time to dump your petrodollar because it's not really heading. It may be headed up, but I really doubt it. After that pump, and this is just a dead cat bounce, you probably see this dump as well. Okay, stellar lumens. What's another one that's still being pumped? OMC-Go OMG. We'll take a look at OMG. OMG. Okay. All right, so I technically you can say that OMG made more Bitcoin. Technically, it starts right here and ends up slightly higher. But again, you wasted your time on this if you're a bag holding all this time, because if you actually sold at the peak and held on to some Bitcoin, you would have made more money, obviously. And looks like here July 17th. When was its peak? Its peak was around September. So this is bad. This doesn't look good, and it's trending downwards. And on top of that, it's getting pumped. And I'm assuming it's getting pumped because I'm sorry, DD8209, if you have any of these coins, but I'm just giving you my honest chart analysis. And yes, they can be brutal, but you know, sometimes you have to be a little brutal to show some love. Well, as far as U.S. dollar wise, I mean, it's holding, but because Bitcoin price is going up even faster, your Bitcoin value is going down compared to the OMG. So I'm not even going to look at 3 days because it's trending down, and it looks like it's breaking to lower lows and lower highs. That's usually a downtrend. So sorry if you hear an echo. It's just I'm probably hearing the recorder, my smartphone. I'm also listening and watching as well to make sure everything comes out right. So let's have a look at some other big. What are the other big? Dragon Coin. Well, we looked at Dragon Coin. That's being pumped social media, but it's not doing so well. Pura. I don't even know what Pura is, but that's 155 and Expanse. So Pura. I don't even know what Pura is. All right, so Pura is an actual cryptocurrency, mineable coin. Has a ranking of 66. I don't even know what the ranking stands for. Let me see if it. Nope. No, it doesn't say anything. Let's take a look. Well, okay, so this coin is nothing more than a pump as well, a pump and dump. So if you have Pura tokens, you should probably start dumping them, because that's probably the most amount of Bitcoins you'll ever get ever in your life. All right, so let's have another one. What's the other one? Expanse EXP. This is being pumped at 317% on social media. EXP. Well, DD8209, I'm sorry about you having XDP. I don't think that's a really good coin. Oh my gosh. Expanse. Okay, so Expanse is being pumped. Let's have a look at the US dollar. There's probably a reason why. Yeah, so the US dollar value is going up, but the Bitcoin value is just, so this, I would not recommend Expanse. It's being pumped. You're being socially engineered to buy this. So these tokens, they're not a company. They don't produce a product or service. The only way you get to buy them if you're sure to do so. So that's pretty bad. All right, so now let's finally get onto Bitcoin here. There we go. So let's go over the mempool. Now let's go over the mempool. Let me get rid of this. All right, so let's have a look here. This blue area is, what is it? It's 70 to 100 is this blue right here. And so that's not bad. It looks like it's slowly eating into the mempool here. And so we'll see what happens Monday. It looks like everybody did all their trading and getting positioned and everything. So it's just a question of how much of the hashing power can work its way through the mempool. So see, 90,000 transactions right now. That's not bad. So all you have to do is have your transaction over 100 to 140 satoshis per byte, and you'll probably get into the next block in a relatively short time. Let's have a look at Bitcoin fees. All right, so 70, 100 to 140. So 100 to 140 is probably where you want to be to get into the next block. The cheapest amount. Anything over that, you're probably overpaying. What does it say you have to pay at? 380 satoshis per byte. So 380 satoshis per byte, I think that's a little too much right now. I think you can be 100 to 140. That should probably get you into the next block, probably the cheapest and fastest. 380 satoshis per byte is probably overpaying, in my opinion. All right, so now let's check out the chart analysis. Wow, we're at $16,145 on Bitstamp. This is on an hourly on Bitstamp. Let's draw some lines. Let's draw some lines at the all-time high. Yeah, wow. Let me see here. One more here. Oh, we're above that mark. Okay. One right here. Right here. All right, I'm just coming up with some lines here to get some idea of what's going on. Wow, that's really good. And then I'm gonna put one more line in here. as support. So there's some resistance and support. Let's zoom in here. This is the all-time high line right here. And there's probably a good chance that's going to be broken. That really is. If the price has moved up this close, there's a really good chance it's going to break the all-time high again. And I'm probably going to have to make another meme, and maybe it'll be a $17,000. It's over a $17,000 meme. But if it's this close, it seems like there's a good chance. Now, if it doesn't, there's some support areas here for you, which is right here at 15,282, and then of course right about here at 1,400. So there's some supports that you could possibly put, and then of course you could put this. This is the other support right here. When I say support, I'm not saying that's where it's going to bounce or anything. When I draw up these lines for support areas, they're probably good areas in which you want to start putting market orders if you trade on exchanges. And so if you're on an exchange, those are some market orders you want to be at, because, and then you want to average them. All right, you want to spread them out, and because I don't know how far it's going to go down, it may not go down to all the way to $12,701. It may just go down to 13,500. So having market orders between these spreads here will highly increase your chance of averaging out and getting the best price. Okay, excellent. All right, so let's back up to the 12-hour. Let's see what it says. So, all right, look at support here. Yeah, there's this. All right, so it's worked its way above, the spot price has worked its way above the 10-period moving average. And now that it's done that, it's very bullish. So it has this temporary retracement, temporary correction, and after its correction, it's now moving back up. So you can clearly see that. You can, I guess, wow, right. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it just keeps going back up. So if you were short, it probably wasn't a good idea, because your shorts got knocked out. I think I do think there was someone who had put a $2 million short, and it got margin called. And so unfortunately, that person, basically the reason for the price rise may be because of that one person having a $2 million, just pumped $2 million worth into the Bitcoin ecosystem. On Bitfinex, it's $16,498. So there seems to be a almost $200 spread. Looks like everyone's just getting out of Bitfinex as soon as possible. All right, let's go to a 1-day. Let's check out the 1-day. Okay, the 1-day, again, the spot price, this candlestick is above the moving average. And it looks like it's bouncing off of it really good. That's a pretty good solid candlestick for a 1-day. And so I think that just happened. I think we got into the first day. And so there might be a good chance that this candlestick could get really big, much bigger, much bigger, way bigger. Let me see here. I don't know if I'm going to cover Bitcoin futures. I don't trade futures, and I don't, I'm glad there's a futures market, but for me, there's no futures market. I don't, that's for traders. That's for Wall Street traders, or people who like playing the video game, which is trading on exchanges, trading online. This is, what I'm showing you is nothing more than a video game that you're betting, you're making a bet. It's a casino for the most part. It's not that hard either. I mean, your odds are better on this than actually the actual casinos. You have, I would say like 40 20%. So your odds are 40% it goes up, 40% it goes down, with a 20% going sideways, right? You don't make any money, it just goes sideways. So you really have three options here. You know, it's not a third. It's not 33%, 33%, 33%. It's more like 40, 40, and then 20. And, you know, 40% chance it'll go up, 40% chance it will go down, and a 20% chance that it won't do either, it just goes sideways. So it's not a very hard betting game. And it's just that. It's just a video game, and you're keeping score. And the score is your money, or how much money you think you have, or the money that's or a number that's on the computer screen that you think is money. I don't play that game necessarily. The game I play is a little different. It's trying to bring Bitcoins out into the physical reality, into the real world, and basically use it in the real world. In the real world, turn it to a physical form of what we call cash, fiat money. That's you know, fiat. If you ask me, fiat and Bitcoin could be almost one and the same, interchangeable. The future markets may influence price. It may influence price, but I don't think it does, because let me go to here and just go to local Bitcoins, because this is the other market that I look at. And I look at this market every day because it tells me what the real value of Bitcoin is. Like, how much money is it worth in the streets? The street value of Bitcoin is, it's ultimately its purest, I think the purest and true form of value of Bitcoin. And if you look at it, I mean, look at the look at this. It's the cheapest price is $17,000. Now you have to realize most of these people probably bought around 16 to 17,000, probably an upper 16,000. So when the price dipped, they didn't move their price. They weren't going to take a loss. And so when I was watching this, a lot of the prices were still at 17, all the way up to $20,000 when Bitcoin price was at 15,000, 14,000. So now that the price is back up, now they're starting to reflect the real price, street value price. And you see that they're 18,000. And this, you know, what I do is I ignore the first one, two. This is at night, so these prices aren't really real. You got to get them during the day. But I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I take the fifth price, and that's really the cheapest price. Okay, the rest, the first four are probably just for show, or they're not going to last too long. This is probably the cheapest, best price right here, $18,593. Let me see here. Let's look at cash deposits real quick. And you're probably going to see a lot more. You'll see a bigger range. You'll see some of it go down to $25,000. So let's just scroll down. Let's see. This is just the first page. And right now you only have 29 people. Usually there's a lot more. So I think there's a lot of people who can't get Bitcoin, and that's why they're not advertising, or they're just not listing right now. But you see 19,000, you see 20,000, you see 21,000. The bottom of the first page is at almost $30,000. So that's the range in price. And so you can just imagine the price is going to go up higher. And believe it or not, people are buying this. People are buying at these prices. Consider that. That should tell you where the price is going. So, all right, that's 1 day. Let's take a look at 3 day. Got essentially a new week, or a new 3 day. And if you look at this red candlestick basically filled this gap. and it looks like this trend line, or not this trend line, this average. It looked like it's touching the bottom, almost touching the bottom, and it looked like, oh, you should have bought at this point. It was an obvious signal at the time, but that's not how it worked, right? There was a gap. There was a gap when it was there, just like there's a gap right now. So this gap has been filled up by this red candlestick. I think now that this is a green candlestick touching almost the all-time high up here, you're probably looking at another liftoff. I can definitely see another liftoff. The spot price is higher than the average, and as long as the spot price is higher than this moving average here, that's a most likely indicator that the price will go up. That's all I can say. Until it goes below this moving average, I'm worried because the price might start going down. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Now we have a new week in play. This new candlestick just filled up the gap of this top candlestick, which was, if there's a wick pointing up on the top of a green candlestick, it usually means that the price will just keep going up. Its pressure is building to go up. That's what I've noticed. Now the average line moved. You'll see that it's very close to touching the bottom of this candlestick, which makes it look like it was obvious that you all should have bought right here. Hindsight 2020, but that's not how it worked, because you see the price here. Now there is a gap on the weekly. So, whenever time I see a gap, but it always seems to be a gap. That's the problem. It always seems to be a gap. And even if there was a gap, within a 1 week, it could just make a red candlestick, and then by the end of that week, it'll just turn into a green candlestick. So it looks like there was a gap filled up here. The price did fill this gap stick or with a wick on the bottom, but it can easily just go back up. The other option is the price moves super fast and goes up even higher. This moving average to the bottom of this candlestick, and that could definitely happen. That could definitely happen. If you just look at the overall momentum of this price, of where it's going, you just don't want to fight. You don't want to fight the trend. The trend is it's going up. Now, although the RSI seems to look like it's peaking up, but the RSI at that level right here, this level right here, it's overbought for sure, but it doesn't mean it's going to go down. It can move up just another like 1 point or 2 points, and all of a sudden, this thing can move like $2,000 or $3,000, just because because it's a measurement of RSI is also like not only as it shows that it's being overbought, but it also shows the momentum, and the momentum is very, very strong, very, very strong. Anybody who's been shorting this has been wrong. Has basically all the people who shorted, your money has been pushing the price upwards, because when your shorts get margin called, it turns into a buy order, and you turn all the people who have been long. All right, you put them in the green. You put them in the money. They're in the money now. So people are still in disbelief, and the sad part is people will continue to be in disbelief, and only when it's too late. When it's too late, that's when they'll start believing that the price will go up higher, and unfortunately, then they'll go long, and when they go long, the market will turn against them and start going back down. That's the sad truth. So take it for what it's worth. If you want to, in my opinion, you should have been holding all this time. You should have been just buying and holding, and don't even bother with altcoins. If you have altcoins, you should just dump them. Try to get as much as Bitcoin as you can. And even if you had Bitcoin and the market crashes, I think, in my opinion, I do believe, because I experienced this same phenomenon from 2013, your Bitcoins will still outperform your altcoin in a downtrending market. I still believe that. And matter of fact, you'll probably make out way better by getting more Bitcoin as it's trending down, buying cheaper and cheaper Bitcoin, than trying to go into an altcoin and holding on to an altcoin when it finally bottoms out, and then you get into another bull market. You'll outperform just if you had Bitcoin versus altcoin. I'm pretty sure of it. Although I could be wrong. Maybe there's a lot of Ethereum billionaires now, or millionaires, but we all know that was because of the ICO sale type, not because they've traded. They created all these tokens for themselves at a very cheap price, and then eventually just got greater fools. So that, I think that's cheating a little way, but I guess it does count. So Jacob TS, 21K and hold. And 21 million says hashtag 21K BTC. I like that. Yeah, I think the 21,000 is still in play. It hasn't stopped. You know, if you think about it, literally 3 weeks ago, the price of Bitcoin was, or 4 weeks ago, the price of Bitcoin was at 7,000. And so we're barely into the first week of December. So you still have another 3 weeks of December. It's not impossible to consider the price of Bitcoin going to 21,000 if the rate in which the price is moving, and if you notice, the price is moving more exponentially as the price is increasing, because the percentage-wise it gets larger, right? It just starts to exponentially increase, or the dollar amount increases in which it moves, but the percentage kind of stays around the same, or maybe increase just a little bit more. So 21,000. I mean, it's possible, you know, right? If I said 21,000 in November, I wouldn't even believe it. But now that we hit the price target of 10,000, 21,000 was the most logical. I would say after 21,000, then you're probably looking at 42. But I don't know if we'll get there by the end of the year. So that remains to be seen. Okay, so we'll that's enough of this here. Let me close this out. Okay. Anyways, that's a very long episode, but why not? It's a Sunday night, and if anybody watches this on Monday, they'll definitely get an earful and a lot to look at, and hopefully they'll enjoy this episode. Anyways, I'd like to thank everybody here in the chat. Thank you so much for sticking around and listening and hearing me rant, and with all your interesting questions. I'd like to thank DD8209. You say I feel, okay, DD8209 says, I feel something is coming. You know me, I'm a pessimist. I'm the guy you don't bring to the party. Well, if you know, depends on your point of view. Hold on, I gotta clear my sinuses again, so forgive me. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. All right. So if you feel, you know, I don't mind the price going down. I do have a trade. I do have a trade that's still impending here. So if the price can stay up and go up higher, and then after I make my trade and then start crashing, I'm okay with that. Then you know, because I've also lived through the crash of 2013 as well. And one thing I've learned is the longer you're in this game and the longer you're trying to acquire more Bitcoin as the price goes down, the more Bitcoin you'll get. And if you're patient enough and you're willing to just keep at it, just keep trading. And I trade peer-to-peer, so it's a little different than trading on the exchanges. If you just keep doing it, you'll eventually come out on top. All your hard work from on the downtrend will eventually work out for the better. And I think there's a lot of new people that have come in, and they won't know what I'm talking about. And unfortunately, that's unfortunate because they'll probably take most of the losses because they'll do the worst thing possible, which is they will buy high and then they'll sell low, and that's unfortunate. And it may be because maybe they have to just learn that lesson on their own. But what I've learned is if you just, it's not when you get into the game, it's how long you're in the game. The longer you're in it, the more money you'll make, or the more richer you'll become, so to speak, if you can stick to it. So take that for what it's worth. Good luck to you. Anyways, let me see here. It says, Andre Barnwell, we learn more about you with every live stream. Well, thank you. I'm glad you learned more about me, and I hope to get to know more about you as well. And I hope Chase that coin, Shaka Daniel, comes on, and maybe we could have a discussion. I know he's definitely into altcoin trading. I'm definitely not into altcoin trading. I'll do my analysis on it, and the whole point of doing my altcoin analysis is to get people more Bitcoin. That's all I'm trying to do, is get you all more Bitcoin. If you think I'm hating on your altcoin, in some ways I am, because I'm trying to show how you don't make any more Bitcoins. That's a myth. And yes, you did make money, but you would have made even more money if you had Bitcoin. But I'm willing to talk to anyone if they can enlighten me on how they create more Litecoins. I mean, more Bitcoins, or how they're able to, how they're able to make more Bitcoins with their altcoins. I think overall trend is kind of showing that you don't. So, anyways, I'd like to thank everybody in the show, in the live chat. Jacob TS, Sis. I don't know how to say that. Stasis. Anyways, thank you for being in the chat. I see you're new here. Welcome. DD82, thank you. And Andre Barnwell. Brian, I can't believe you stayed up all this time. Merch Studios. Why do you think 21K? Simple, because I did my chart analysis. When I did some trend lines from 2013, and I came to a conclusion that it's basically 3 times 7,000. So that's where I got set 21,000. So the price was at 7,000. Times that by 3, you get 21. I made a video on that, so go check that out. It's probably one of my past videos. Anyways, 21 Million Club, thanks for being in the chat. Fun Machine, Client Shizbig, didn't see you there, but welcome. Good to see you. And then Dual Overhead Camness, as always. Pisces Traits Rules 373. I see you're laughing at me. And Crypto Cotter. Hopefully I said your name right. I know I keep forgetting. Chase that coin. We'll hook up. You're gonna have to email me or I'll email you. I think I still have your email address. We'll have our talk. And then who else is in the live chat here? Boy, you guys were definitely chatting it up this whole time. Well, oh my goodness, the chat's kind of too long. Oh, Iger Goldabin. I see you there. And then let's see who else. Buy Bitcoin, Brad Taylor, and Richie Rich, of course. Let's see who else. Q Burrow, thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate it. And then wow, you guys were really chatting it up in there. I guess the usual group here. Julie G, thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate that. And then the Imaginary Globe as well. Let's see who else stopped in here. Boy, it is getting late. My eyes are getting drowsy. Okay, I think that's everyone. Unless oh, Patrick, don't forget Patrick and Warren Bottoms as well. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't liked, please like or dislike. Please leave a comment after the live stream or even do a video response. Until next time, everyone, stay tuned. Bye-bye now.